What's up, everybody? This is Mitch with SC Weather. I hope you all are having a great weekend. I've had a great weekend. I've been kind of on bed rest a little bit. Not really bed rest, but I've had to kind of limit my outdoor activities, which has tore my nerves up because maybe TMI, but I had a vasectomy done yesterday morning. So yeah, it hasn't been too fun, and that haven't really accomplished anything. But nevertheless, it has been an awesome weekend, and I'm sure a lot of people have gotten a lot of stuff done. Highs have been in the 70s yesterday, 70s to low 80s today. Low humidity compared to last weekend, which had very high humidity for early in spring. So it's been a great weekend. So without boring y'all to death with all that, weather has been boring. It has been boring for about a month now. Nothing drastic has happened. It is just, it's just been boring. No severe weather, no crazy snow in April or March like we've had the last several years. Nothing like that. So I'm here to talk about something that's some drastic changes are about to happen. We're about to definitely see some changes in the weather. We're about to definitely have some stuff to talk about, I think, over the next 14 days or so. So the first thing I want to talk about is this. This is the NAM. Probably late tonight. It shows some showers and storms kind of breaking containment outside the mountains in the Piedmont, North Carolina. Maybe up there in the upstate, you might have an isolated storm or something, but I think they start to kind of die out once they enter in the Midlands. So one big thing I want to talk about is tomorrow afternoon and evening, which could get a little interesting, especially for the kind of the coastal plains of North Carolina. And I think that the National Weather Service will probably issue a level one version of which is the really light green, and I'll post that tomorrow if it ends up happening. Level 1 of out of 5 for the severe weather levels, and so just a very general risk of severe thunderstorms. And as you can look at this graphic here, there's definitely going to be a risk of some isolated storms tomorrow, and I think they could pop up really anywhere. I think in the southern Midlands, well, pretty much anywhere, guys. It looked like the last NAM model kind of showed it mainly in the upstate, and then they kind of died off once they entered the Midlands. But you know, the latest has it some popping up in the PD area and down even close to Myrtle Beach. So it's kind of hard to tell, but you know, I mean, look, it's kind of coming together big time in the coastal plains of North Carolina. So whoever gets hit by these, I think there's going to be a chance of some gusty winds and some small hail. Hail because I think the freezing levels are going to be low in the upper atmosphere. So I think there'll be a chance of, you know, I think hail may be a little easier to attain, if that makes sense, than normal. It's going to be very isolated, very hit or miss. Wherever it's not raining is going to be having a very warm day in the 80s almost across the entire state. So whoever isn't getting hit by rain tomorrow afternoon is definitely going to be warm, and you know, that's definitely something. And this is the NAM temps for tomorrow. It's kind of on the low end of what I'm thinking and what mainly everybody else is thinking. I think some people hitting that mid 80s tomorrow for sure. So, and again, Tuesday, I think you know, the NAM did not have, this wasn't all the way at the end of the NAM model run, but I think even Tuesday, same kind of situation as tomorrow. Tuesday evening, we could have some isolated strong storms, maybe a severe storm. It's definitely something to watch. Something's going to be interesting to watch for sure, because if you look at your Weather Channel app or the news, they're probably not mentioning it much because it's just such an isolated shot. So so after the storm chances the next couple of days, and maybe even Wednesday there might be some chances. This is temps for Tuesday. Another warm day in the 80s across most of the state. If you look at those little very faded areas where it kind of fades to yellow, I don't know if you, it's hard for me to pinpoint what I'm talking about here, but in the state where it kind of goes from red to like yellow, that's where them storms are showing up, depicting, because when it rains and storms, it lowers the temperature. So that's what them little splotches are. But going into the GFS now, this is Wednesday highs in the 80s again, another warm day. It's going to be a warm week. It's going to be kind of like not last week, but the week before last week, where it was just a warm week. I think the warmest and probably the humidest day, the day with the highest humidity will likely be Thursday, and that's because it's going to be warm, humid air surging ahead of this cold front. Now, if you look, the whole state, the whole southeast, except like places of Tennessee, is pretty warm. But you can tell there's a cold front. Look how much cool, and this is temperatures. Look how much cooler Tennessee is. I mean, most of the states in the 50s. So you can tell there's some change is about to happen. And this is dew points, guys, courtesy of the GFS. As you can tell, there's a little bit of humidity in the state. Dew points in the 60s. But look at the blast of the lower dew points, which is dry air, much drier, blasting through overnight Thursday into Friday probably. And obviously the time range could tweak a little bit. I mean, if you want to compare and contrast, look how much humid Florida is, with dew points near 70 in parts of the state, which is very, very humid, especially for April. Well, not really for Florida standards. I mean, it's humid there. We start getting humid there. I mean, it stays humid there sometimes throughout the whole entire year in places like Miami. But anyways, so this basically signals a cold front that makes it through, sweeps through, brings drier even down in Florida. Look at the low dew points. Now this is kind of getting into the mid to long range, even though it's Friday. So it's going to tweak a little bit, but basically it signals cooler air. These are dew points, guys, too. Don't look at these as temperatures. These are dew points, which signals lower humidity. So these are temperatures. This is the GFS, and it shows the highs for Friday. Now, think about what you just saw Thursday, how warm it was. It was mid 80s, maybe upper 80s for some, humid. Now look at highs for Friday, potentially only in the 60s. So and probably under cloudy skies with a chance of rain, I'm thinking. So from what I mentioned in the beginning of the video, big time changes, right? So the next thing I want to talk about, and I'm not going to go into detail at all about this, because there's just so much up in the air here, and honestly, I don't have enough knowledge on it to really comment on it this far out. My severe weather knowledge is definitely something that's getting better. I'm a lot better with winter weather, but I learn as each event comes, and I'm definitely not good enough at to really look 7 days out and say, hey, this looks like a legitimate severe weather threat. But talking to some guys and looking at some weather forums, there's definitely a threat, especially courtesy of the Euro model, for a severe weather event this weekend, next weekend. Not this weekend. This weekend's over, but next weekend. So that's definitely something we need to watch, and something that's going to, if the chances increase, this is definitely going to be something that you hear more and more about the deeper we go into this week. So I don't know which day it's going to be. It looks kind of like Sunday right now. This just kind of shows the wind speed, and basically it's the jet stream that's dipping really low for this time of the year, as this will be getting into mid-April. And so when you usually have a severe weather outbreak in March or April, sometimes even May, normally you get the severe storms, and normally you get an abrupt pattern change, meaning you'll get severe storms, and normally right after the severe storms, you get colder air, cold, unseasonably cool air for spring that moves in after that. That's normally how it works. In fact, a lot of times in the Midwest, you'll get severe storms. Even Denver like that, you'll get severe storms in the Midwest and stuff like that, and then maybe a day or two later, man, you might even get some snow. Now, it normally isn't that drastic around here around this time of year, but or really any time of year. But I'm just showing this because that has a look to it that we may need to watch for some severe weather Sunday. And I'll just kind of leave that at that, guys. And I'll definitely have some more videos on this if it looks like it's going to materialize this weekend. Another thing I want to talk about, and I'm going to wrap the video up here, is another change. And that's another thing I want to talk about, is the fact that I think regardless of severe weather happens, this is temp anomalies. What temp anomalies basically is how warm or cool it is compared to average for that time of the year. So don't look at this red, and I think I've explained this in other videos. Don't look at this red graphic and go like, dang, it is 100 and something degrees. No, that's just basically signaling for Thursday, this Thursday, it's going to be much warmer than average. So, but if you look northeast of the state, you see the cold front coming, and that's signaling the weather change. So this is Friday. I mean, look at Thursday. Look how warm it is compared to average. Look at Friday. Look how cool it is compared to average. Now, average temps, high temps for this time of the year, as we get into the end of the week, we'll probably start to get into, depending on what part of the state it is, the low to the mid 70s. Average lows, upper 40s to low 50s. So look at Friday. That signals, a pretty drastic. I mean, if you look at the key over here, it signals 5 to 10 to 11 degrees below normal. So, excuse me, guys. Allergies are kicking in a little bit, but that basically signals the front. Saturday, it moderates a little bit. Still looks like a below average day as far as temperatures. Sunday moderates a little bit more, might get to more average temperatures. And then this is looking far ahead, guys, real far ahead into next week. It kind of shows after that Sunday, and this is the GFS. The European has the cooler air coming in faster, but I don't know if I've showed one on my Facebook and I've retweeted on my Twitter. It's basically signaling cooler than average temperatures for basically mid-April. And I tell you what, the GFS is cold. Now the super cold temperatures the GFS is showing, I'm not even going to show them, is in the 200 plus hour range out, which is basically getting into midway next week. So that's something we need to watch, and it's definitely something that see if it materializes. Anything out in that range is very inaccurate, but it's something we definitely need to watch. So storm chances tomorrow and the next day, very warm week. Then we have a chance of severe weather this weekend, and then it gets much cooler possibly next week. But next week is a long way out, guys. But there is a chance that it could be very, very cool next week. So that's something we need to watch for any freak frost, freak freezes. Gotta be terrible to get a freeze in mid-April. But you gotta watch things like this. And that's things you can't control, obviously. So I haven't planted any flowers, but I haven't planted any flowers or anything like that just because I don't know if y'all saw my post on Twitter a couple days ago, but I'm scared the kids in my neighborhood are going to trample them. But if it wasn't for that, I would have planted already, and I still probably will. But definitely something you want to watch for if you plant a lot of stuff in a garden and things like that. Is next week, just not saying there's going to be frost or freeze, but I'm saying to watch it. But we have a lot of other things to get through first, so that's all I got, guys. Let's kind of just watch. I think there's a lot of interesting things that's going to unfold over the next few days, and I think the weather's finally going to get a little crazy, a little interesting, and there's going to be a couple chances of severe weather, and maybe a big chance this weekend. Y'all have a blessed Sunday, great rest of the day. Let's hope this week is better as far as with the coronavirus and stuff, but I ask that you could subscribe if I haven't managed to bore you through the whole rest of the video. But I appreciate y'all's support, and y'all have a great rest of your day.